The market between stars. The auction hall on Caros. 9 smelled like oil, fear, and old air recyclers that had stopped pretending they worked centuries ago. It was carved directly into an asteroid, hollowed out by criminals and profiteers who preferred places where law went to die quietly. Neon glyphs in a dozen alien languages floated above rusted stalls, advertising flesh, weapons, labor, and things that shouldn't have existed at all. I didn't belong there. I was a human logistics officer, recently discharged from the Coalition Navy after the border war ended in a stalemate nobody wanted to admit was a loss. I'd taken a civilian contract, hauling relief supplies to fringe systems. Caros. 9 was supposed to be a refueling stop. Nothing more. But space has a way of laughing at plans. I wandered into the auction hall because I heard shouting, harsh, guttural clicks mixed with laughter. Curiosity is a dangerous habit for humans. It's gotten us killed more times than war ever has. Still, I followed the sound. At the center of the hall stood a raised platform. Chains were bolted into the floor. And standing there, barefoot, bruised, and unmistakably alien, was her. She wasn't like the exoticized hollow images that flooded human entertainment feeds. No exaggerated features. No decorative ridges or glowing eyes meant to titillate. She was tall, lean, her skin a pale silver gray that caught the light like moonstone. Dark markings traced her arms and neck in patterns that looked less like decoration and more like language. Her eyes were what stopped me. They were deep blue, almost black, and they burned with something I hadn't seen in a long time. Dignity. The auctioneer, a bloated creche with too many eyes and a voice like grinding gravel, was already losing patience. Lot 47, it snarled. Unregistered alien female. No known political claim. Physically capable. Non-compliant temperament. 1 credit starting bid. Silence. A few chuckles rippled through the crowd. She bit the last owner. Someone shouted. Worthless. Another voice replied. Species is extinct or close to it. The word extinct hit me like a punch. The alien woman lifted her chin. She didn't beg. She didn't cry. She stared out at the crowd as if memorizing every face, every species, every soul that had decided she was nothing. 1 credit. The auctioneer repeated, irritation bleeding into its tone. Still no one moved. That was when a human trader in a grease-stained jacket stepped forward, reached into a pocket, and flicked something onto the table. A Terran dollar coin. I'll take her, he said with a laugh. Scrap labor. Maybe she'll clean my ship. The auctioneer hesitated, scanning for better offers. There were none. Sold, it barked. The chains around her wrists unlocked with a dull clank. That should have been the end of it. But the coin rolled. It slipped off the edge of the table, spinning across the floor until it stopped near my boot. I looked down at it. Then I looked up at her. Our eyes met, and something in my chest broke open. I bent down, picked up the coin, and before my brain could catch up with my body, I spoke. I'll pay double, I said. The hall went silent. The trader turned, scowling. Deal's done, human. I stepped forward and placed the coin back on the table. I'm not buying her, I said. I'm paying you to walk away. Laughter erupted, but I didn't laugh. I reached into my pocket and added something else. My coalition discharge badge, worth more on the black market than any credit chip. Take it, I said, and leave. The trader's eyes flicked between the badge and the woman. Greed won. Fine, he muttered, snatching the badge. She's your problem. The auctioneer shrugged. Ownership transferred. I turned to the woman and unlocked the remaining restraint myself. You're free, I said softly. She didn't move. Then, slowly, she stepped off a platform, and the galaxy shifted. Middle, a home where none existed. She didn't speak on the walk back to my ship. I kept my pace slow, non-threatening. I'd learned that much during the war. She followed, barefoot on cold metal corridors, her posture straight despite everything that had been done to her. My ship wasn't much. A retrofitted cargo hauler named Wayfarer. Ugly, reliable, honest in a way most things in space weren't. Inside, she stopped again, eyes scanning every corner. This is your home, I said, realizing too late that the word might not translate. I tapped my chest. I am Elias Morgan. Human. She studied me for a long moment. Then she spoke. My name, she said, her voice low and melodic, accented but clear, is Silari the Tethran Clade. I swallowed. It's good to meet you, Silari. She tilted her head. You did not purchase me. No, I said, I didn't. Then why intervene? I didn't have a clean answer, so I gave her the truth. Because selling someone for $1 is wrong, I said, and because you deserved a choice. She absorbed that quietly. In the days that followed, we learned each other's rhythms. I gave her clothes, real food, a private room. I made it clear she could leave whenever she wanted. She never did. Instead, she told me her story. The Tethran were a peaceful species, older than human civilization by tens of thousands of years. They were scholars, architects of living cities grown from crystal and song. When the Dominion expanded into their sector, the Tethran refused to surrender their worlds. The Dominion responded with orbital fire. Entire planets were glassed. Those who survived were scattered, captured, enslaved, or hunted to extinction. Silari had been a cultural archivist, a keeper of memory. When her world fell, she was taken alive, traded from hand to hand until she ended up on Caro's 9, reduced to Lot 47. They sold my people's history by the kilogram, she said once, her hands clenched, and my life for a coin you children use for wishes. Something burned in me when she said that. I wasn't a hero. I was a tired human with a ship and a conscience that wouldn't shut up. But as weeks passed, something else became clear. Silari was not helpless. She helped me navigate ancient star charts written in harmonic mathematics. She repaired systems using techniques humans hadn't dreamed of. She spoke of the Dominion not with fear, but with precision. They are not invincible, she said. They are simply unchallenged. Word spread. At first, it was whispers. A human who freed an alien slave. A Tethran survivor alive. Then refugees began seeking us out. Broken ships. Scattered people. Species the Dominion had crushed quietly. I couldn't turn them away. The Wayfarer became a moving sanctuary. Silari stood at its heart. She taught, organized, inspired, and I realized something terrifying. By giving one alien woman a home, I had created something the galaxy had tried very hard to erase. Hope, the fire that followed. Hope attracts attention. The Dominion found us near the Helix Drift, a region of unstable space where sensors went blind. 3 warships dropped out of hyperspace around us like predators. I was shaking. Silari was calm. They will demand surrender, she said. Do not comply. I don't have weapons, I said. She looked at me. You have allies. She activated the beacon we'd been quietly assembling, a signal encoded in Tetran harmonic language, broadcast across subspace. The response was immediate. Ships emerged from everywhere. Old Coalition frigates captained by disgraced humans, alien vessels thought destroyed, independent traders, smugglers, former slaves. A fleet born not of command, but of choice. The Dominion fired first. The battle was chaos. Energy tore space apart. Ships fell. I thought we would die. Then Silari stepped onto bridge and began to sing, not metaphorically. She sang in the ancient Tetran way, her voice weaving through the ship systems, synchronizing shields, amplifying signals. Other Tetran survivors across the fleet joined her. The fleet moved as one. When the smoke cleared, the Dominion ships were gone, not destroyed, routed. For the first time in recorded history, the Dominion retreated. The galaxy noticed, ending the price of $1. Years passed. The Tetran were recognized as a protected species. The slave markets collapsed under pressure and rebellion. The Dominion fractured, its myth of invincibility shattered. Historians would later argue about where it all began. A battle, a song, a fleet. They were wrong. It began with a coin, a single dollar that proved how cheaply the galaxy valued life, and how powerful a different choice could be. Silari and I stood on the observation deck of the new Tetran enclave, a world rebuilt from memory and cooperation. Children ran through crystal halls that sang softly beneath their feet. You never asked for anything, she said. I smiled. I got everything anyway. She took my hand, her grip warm and sure. You gave me a home, she said, and in doing so, you reminded the galaxy what a home is. Above us, stars burn bright, unchained, unowned, and somewhere in a forgotten corner of space, a rusted auction table stood empty. No one had dared sell a soul there ever again.